We'll allow another four to five questions, after which we would wind up the program. The next question from the slip is by Advocate Abbas Hetaukar. He asks, the world is threatened with the menace of AIDS. It is not known how to deal with it. Does Quran throw any light on its causes and prevention?
The question posed was that we are threatened with AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Does Quran throw any light on that? If you happen to know that the first International AIDS Conference, it took place in our city of Bombay in 1994 in Hotel Oberoi Towers, first international conference on AIDS. And Dr. Michael Merson, he was the person who headed here from WHO, World Health Organization. At that time he said there were about 11 million cases of AIDS detected, out of which 1.6 is present in India. And at the end of century, there will be 40 million cases of AIDS in the world, out of which 11 million will be in India. More than 25% will be in India. And he said that within 5 years' time, the next 5 years, there is doubtful of any cure. No one will know how to cure this. Best is prevention. Prevention is better than cure. And the reason for this AIDS, he gave as, one is homosexuality. Other is heterosexuality, unsafe sex, that adultery. Third is using needles for drugs, blood transfusion, etc. And fourth is associated with alcoholism. If you analyze, Quran throws light on most of these topics. Quran says in Surah Araf, chapter number 7, verse number 80 and 81, that we sent Lut alayhi salam, Prophet Lut, peace be upon him, to the people. And he said to them, do you practice lewdness, which no one has done before? You prefer in lust men over women. You have indeed gone far beyond the limits. Lut alayhi salam says that these people used to practice homosexuality. And you know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends brimstones on them. Homosexuality is prohibited in the Holy Quran. But now we find in the modern world, they have legalized gay marriage. Do you know that? When I was in Canada, it came in front page. Man and man kissing each other, husband, wife. Legalized gay, homosexuality. Legalized. The gays, they take out a procession for their rights. Gay rights. A headquarters San Francisco, etc. One of the reasons homosexuality. Then comes adultery. The Quran says in Surah Isra, chapter number 17, verse number 32, it says that come not close to adultery. It's an evil, opening other roads to evil. Come not close to adultery. And do you know, in America, a man has 8 different sexual partners on an average before he settles down with one permanent life partner. On average, 8. Some may have 20, some may have 30, some may have 1, some may have 2. On average, 8 sexual partners before they settle down with a permanent wife. Do you know this? It's been legalized there. Quran is against adultery, totally against adultery. And one of the causes of AIDS is prostitution. You know what we medical doctors call them? CSW. You know what is CSW? Commercial sex workers. We give refined words for this. And according to Dr. Gilada in that conference, he said 50% of the commercial sex workers of Bombay had AIDS. By the end of the century, 90% will have it. There is no place for prostitution in Islam. And most of the people going to prostitutes, the report said, for between 15 to 24 years, young people. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 7, chapter number 3, hadith number 4. He said, O young people, whoever has the means to get married, for it will help you to lower your gaze. Marrying early is preferable in Islam. It will prevent adultery. It will prevent promiscuity. It will prevent homosexuality. Therefore, our Prophet said, marriage completes half your deen. come to the last reason he gave, associated with tuberculosis, as well as alcoholism. Major people that go to the prostitute, 95% they have alcohol. Alcoholics. Quran says, as I mentioned earlier, in Surah Maida, chapter 5, verse number 90, it says, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisiru, most certainly intoxicants and gambling, wal anzabu wal aslamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rijsum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu la'allakum tuflihun. Abstain from such handiwork that you may prosper. Today, the medical doctors, they say, don't call them drunkards. I'll call them the disease. Treat them like patients. You know, that's the terminology we use in the new books of medicine. I'll call them the disease. How you treat a patient of tuberculosis, of cancer. Don't blame the alcoholics. Treat them as patients. It's a disease. I tell them that if alcohol is a disease, it's the only disease sold in bottles. It's the only disease advertised in the newspapers, in the magazines, in the radios, as well as the television. Our government has a law that you cannot advertise anything like alcohol. You know what they do? Bagpipe or soda. Who drinks bagpipe or soda? It is there. People know it is bagpipe or whiskey. It's not bagpipe or soda. I saw an ad, London Pilsner or some other alcohol company. Glass, ad for glass. Any logical person will know it is an ad for the alcohol. So they're taking a government for a ride. These ads are allowed even on the television, you see. If alcohol is a disease, it is the only disease which gets revenue for the government. It is the only disease which has got licensed outlets. It's the only disease which has got no viral or germ cause. It's the disease which causes violent deaths on the highway. It's the disease which destroys the family. The Quran says it's not a disease, it says, Rishtum min amali shaitan. These are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu la'allakum tuflihun. Abstain from this handiwork that you may prosper.
The next question, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Brother Zakir Naik. Educated people do not believe the Qiyamah, the last days which is judged by Allah. Obedience of Allah goes to heaven, disobedience, that is sinners, goes to hell.
The brother posed the question that educated people don't believe in Qiyamah, the day of resurrection, and life after death, etc., that the world is going to end, etc. So, how will you prove to them logically or scientifically about Qiyamah, about life after death, etc.? Brother, one way, as I said earlier, that if 80% of the Quran has been proved to be 100% correct, and the remaining 20% is ambiguous, my logic says that even this 20% will be correct. That's the answer I gave earlier. There's another way you can prove to these educated people. I'm asking them a simple question. You ask them a question, is robbing good or bad? Robbing, is it good or bad? The brother is saying it is bad. Is raping good or bad? Bad. The brother is saying it is bad. What I ask the question to these educated people who don't believe in Qiyamah, who don't believe in life after death, I tell them, can you give me one logical reason why robbing is bad? Only one. Can you give me a logical reason why it is bad?
People do live in simple way, that is they do the bad thing.
People will do bad things.
People like to live in simple way, that is what they would like to do the bad thing.
And get the answer. Whatever it is, if you ask a person why not to rob, there will be various reasons. That if you rob, it hurts the feeling of the other person. See, I'm telling you, I am a smuggler. Suppose I'm a smuggler. You prove to me why robbing is bad. See, I'm not bothered whether harming the other person or not. No one can harm me. If I rob, if I take out 1,000 rupees from the wallet of a man passing by, I can go to the bar, I can have dinner, I can have lunch, I can go to movie, I can enjoy life. It is good. Why it is bad? Some people say, if you rob someone else, someday someone will rob you. No one can rob me. I am a mafia. Just an example, I am a mafia. I have got 1,000 bodyguards, all with AK-47. All with AK-47. No one can harm me. I can harm them. I have got 1,000 bodyguards, all with AK-47. no one can harm my family. My family is guarded. I want to ask the question, you prove to me robbing is bad. One logical reason, not two. Why it is bad, and I will stop it immediately. I am a logical person. I believe in science. As you said, I'm a logical person. I believe in science. You prove to me why it is bad. Some may say that, see, it's against humanity. I said, who wrote this book called Humanity? Who wrote it? I don't believe in it. I'm enjoying life. When I rob 1,000 rupees, when I rob 1 lakh rupees, I can enjoy life. I can buy a new flat. I can go abroad. And no one can harm me because I am a mafia. Some people say, the police will catch you and put you in the jail. I say, I've got the police in my pocket. I've got the ministers in my pocket. And we know that throughout the world there are various top smugglers who have got the police in the pocket. They have got ministers in the pocket. No one can harm this. Throughout the world you got examples. I'm saying I'm such a mafia. You prove to me why it is bad and I will stop robbing. And this question I pose to thousands of people in audiences. Whatever answer they give, it does not satisfy logic and reason. So I tell them, okay, now you become that mafia and I will try and convince to you why robbing is bad. Why raping is bad. So he's happy, okay, now Zakir took me for a ride, now we will take Zakir for a ride. So I tell him, the reason why robbing is bad, maybe you're a mafia, no one can harm you, I agree with you. No one can harm your family. But if you rob, you go against the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the hereafter you'll get punishment. In this world, you may have the police in your pocket, you may have the minister in your pocket, but in the hereafter, you will be held responsible. I am asking you a question that your human law, you talk about a human law. Now, I am speaking as a Muslim. Now you are the mafia. I am speaking as a Muslim and convincing you of Qiyamah and life after death. I am telling you that if you are a mafia and you kill many people, you may get saved in this world, not in the hereafter. I ask a question, that suppose there is a smuggler who has killed hundreds of people. Don't you think he requires punishment? He requires, where will he get it? We see many smugglers lead a luxurious life, they have got palaces, they enjoy life, and they die a very good death. Some people die a bad death, some people die a good death. Don't you think they require punishment? Hitler, do you know Hitler? Hitler incinerated 6 million Jews. He burnt 6 million Jews alive. Do you know that? Even if you say 6 lakhs, I agree with you. If you say 6,000, I agree with you. I'm asking the question, if your law catches Hitler, what punishment can you give him? What punishment? Worst you can do is incinerate him. You can burn him. But that will compensate only for one death. What about the other 5,900,999 deaths? But in my logical case, in the hereafter, Allah will put him in the hell. And Quran says in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 56, as to those who reject our signs, we will put you in hellfire. And as often as your skins are roasted, we shall give you fresh skins. So if Allah wants, He can burn Hitler 6 million times. He can even burn Hitler 12 million times. Therefore, without a hereafter, there will be no morality in this world. So raping is bad. Why? Because if you get saved in this world, you will pay in the hereafter. Hope that answers the question.
The next question from the ladies' side.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you please comment on artificial insemination and test tube babies?
The sister posed the question, can I comment on artificial insemination and test tube babies, whether it's allowed or not in Islam? That's what she means. Sister, artificial insemination is of two types. One is homogeneous and the other is heterogeneous. Homogeneous means using the sperm and the ovum of the husband and wife. If suppose the wife or the husband has certain medical problems, and if you know by doing homogeneous artificial insemination, they can give birth to a child, it's perfectly allowed. But heterogeneous artificial insemination in which you get a sperm from a sperm bank, it's totally haram. How? You have blood bank. Here today, you also have sperm bank. You cannot go to a sperm bank and get a sperm and use it in your wife. That's haram. So homogeneous artificial insemination is allowed, heterogeneous is not allowed. Same way for just two babies, whatever. If it's of the husband and wife, it's totally allowed. If it's not of husband and wife, it's not allowed. it's as good as adultery. Hope that answers the question.
I would request the audience for another 3 minutes. You have borne so much of your time with us. Thank you for your patience. Just give us 3 to 4 minutes to complete the program in the proper format. We apologize to the people waiting in the queue. We understand their enthusiasm, but we hope we will indulge their patience. What I would request, if you have any further questions on this subject or any question on Islam and comparative religion, you are most welcome to attend our lectures at the Islamic Research Foundation Auditorium, which are followed by question and answer sessions every Saturday at 2:45 p.m., every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., and every Monday for ladies at 3 p.m., which are usually handled by Dr. Zakir or some other expert on Islam and comparative religion from the Islamic Research Foundation. We thank Almighty Allah for making this evening program possible for all of us here. On behalf of the Islamic Research Foundation, I thank all our esteemed guests of honor, brothers and sisters present here today, for their rapt attention and enthusiasm we have had throughout the program. Believe me, you all have encouraged Dr. Zakir to strive on harder and give better performances. You have. We appreciate and thank all the persons involved in the professional video recording of the program today, mostly from the Star TV network, so that the many millions to whom this program may go over satellite television would be able to appreciate it too. We are especially thankful to the press who's present here today. Again, they have responded very well. We have noticed in the past that the press has given objective reportage to most of our programs that we have had, and not as some of the Muslims have advised us, no, they always write against you all. They have been not kind, they have been objective, I would say. Lastly, I would like to congratulate and thank all the many volunteers who have assisted us and supported us in handling such a vast audience. It's not possible without with just 1 or 2 people of us. We are the ones whose faces are seen on the stage. Their efforts are there behind all these curtains and chairs. Until we meet again for such regular special programs, inshallah, we hope you would keep in touch with the IRF and its regular programs. We end the program today with a short dua by Ashraf Muhammadi. Brother Ashraf Muhammadi.
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. O Lord, give us the best in this world and the best in the hereafter, and save us from the torment of hellfire. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. O Lord, accept this service from us, for you are all hearing, all knowing, and forgive us, for you are often forgiving, most merciful. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة. O Lord, let not our hearts deviate after you have guided us, and grant us mercy from you. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen.